Hello, and welcome
Maybe
to Pages of Chaos. Today we're going to give a big shout out to Doodling Beggar, who did our Pages of Chaos art for us. Everybody claps for Doodling Beggar.
Yeah, we're all gonna clap for him right now.
Yeah, clap. My mic won't pick up me clapping, but clap.
Hold on. I'm going to do blurg.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh,
Who's
God.
breathing in the mic? I'm gonna kill you.
It's
on,
probably my AC. I can't do
Oh yeah,
anything
you're
about it.
thing.
Oh, I put a space. That's why.
Get
Hey.
good.
Playing
Hey,
crap.
Pyth, if you leave the chat, it might make the noise up.
Ooh.
First of all,
Or you can set the gate on your mic so it
it's
takes all
it's
the little
already
tiny
really
sounds.
high, but the thing is, if I set it too low, then it won't pick up when I'm talking because Pyth talks really quietly.
Oh, there it is.
That's just a you problem.
I just mute my
Yay.
mic whenever I'm not talking.
Doodling Beggar.
Hey,
Everybody go follow him. He's really great. Get him to do a
Mario
commission for
Daddy.
you. It's great.
Drop his
Shut down
cast
the
app
video.
in the chat.
Someone snuck that in.
I will not, because chat's not active. But his his Instagram handle is on the screen. You can go follow him there, and I do believe he has his
Oh.
his info. If you want to go leave a tip for him, he's got it in his bio, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, you may now proceed to your normal introductions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pages of Chaos.
That
I
was
just
not
needed to do that
needed.
because I know. I need
Yeah.
to do it.
That. I mean,
DM, please
Hey,
continue.
You're
you
fine.
have to
She
do
should-
something about that next time.
You gotta get the hello everybody from Old Mahi in there.
Do we though?
Yes.
Tradition.
Where is Old Mahi, anyways?
In a pit.
He's locked
In a pit.
weird.
In a pit?
He's locked.
Are we
deep
gonna
in
meet
my-
him as an NPC later?
Maybe.
No.
Oh!
Oh
You
no!
just got
What
Rick Mahi.
what?
Blurg just
No.
rickroll us? Okay, that's horrible. Sticky blurg. Well done, Mahi.
Anyway, you always need a
Thank
court
you.
jester. That's what Mahi's for. Anyway.
Go fall in a pit and die.
A court just
That's
isn't that just called the
That's like
king's
dark humor.
school?
Basically.
Yeah, but like communism. I don't know. Somebody's
Maybe.
What?
Maybe the
We
DM can
need
do
to-
the recap.
Yeah. Recap.
Before we get
Welcome to another episode of Pages of Chaos. I will be your DM for this evening. And
God,
here's
I
our
tried that
recap.
voice earlier. Why are you so good at it?
I'm super good because I'm the DM. It's not what I do, but how I sound that makes me Batman. Because I'm Batman.
I
Okay.
I feel like I've done this before. Hey,
Lego Batman reference.
I'm Lego Batman. Okay. Recap. Drawing. I hope this is the right one. Just realized.
I wouldn't know the
Oh
difference.
my god. Is this the right one? Yes. Okay. It was like a short episode last time, so it was a long time since because I think I did it like right last week. So
Long time,
anyway,
$10.
long time. Drawing closer to the confrontation at the Circle of Thunder, the party arrives at the bottom of the hill. On top of the hill awaits a ring of 8 standing stones, a dark fog emanating from the center as the storm above draws closer and missing. The rhythmic boons sounding of thunders and lightning flashing across and striking closer with every passing minute. Drama! The group debates on their plan of attack while Tor sends Drippy up the hill to investigate. Stealthily, Drippy evades detection, but notices a small patrol of orcs guarding the innermost part of the circle, but unable to see past the outlining fog, short of some dancing humanoid figures within. Mahi questions Pythavin's convictions of stopping a ritual seemingly prepared for the benefit of her deity, while Pythavi responding with full confidence that they stand in her way of survival, therefore they must be removed. And having discovered the layout of the location for the notes left behind by the wizard at the Woodland Mansion, she suggests an alternate route of accessing the hilltop through some dug-out caves beneath, and she guides a blinded tour to the eastern outskirts of the hill. The party follows without alarming, and they arrive at the cave entrance. Pythavin spies a carved-out symbol for Erdrithania, the elven goddess that the shrine was initially dedicated to, but notices the symbols have been scratched away, replaced with a crude drawing of humanoid stick figures being struck by lightning. As the group enters the cave, they discover down one of the hallways a makeshift cell with a centaur imprisoned within. Angelo attempts to communicate, but realizing there's a language barrier existing, Pythavin grants him the Helm of Languages so that he can understand the centaur's dialect. Centaur, later introduced as Xanth, implores the group to help him escape, claiming the orcs had captured him earlier, and fears for the life of Lunaria. The name of the unicorn that the party previously overheard was struck down by their patrols. Xanth alludes to Lunaria being the celestial patron of the woods, and with her capture, the orcs' initial intentions of a living sacrifice for their ritual has now been diverted to their new prey, implying the creature may yet still live, but not for long. Angelo easily pops the lock off with his thieves' tool, and unlocks the manacles holding down the centaur's hooves. Malnourished from his imprisoned state, they offer him a ration, which he takes and thanks the group properly for their assistance. In return, they request his assistance in their assault of the orcs on the hill and grant him a dagger to wield, which he reluctantly takes, stating that if Lunaria is still alive, he will do what he can to save and free her. As the party moves further into the cave, Angelo comes across another cell-like stable, this one containing a small doe, a deer, a female deer. Cutting the ropes binding the gate together, he frees and reassures the deer of her safety, assuming that this might have been another candidate for the Orcus ritual that got traded up for bigger prey. He proceeds down the hall and comes to a large alcove with an interesting mural of some kind of emblazoned glyph upon the wall. The strange, misaligned symbol upon this wall, containing 3 rings, each level having a small hole placed along it. Pythavin and Angelo coming to the conclusion that if a rod could be placed within these holes, it could act as a handle and cranking the rings, realigning the symbol, potentially opening some secret room or vault behind. With some of Mahi's strength and Pythavin's correction of activating the immovable rod during this process, the symbol pieces align and form one larger symbol representing the holy symbol of Erdrithania. As the final piece clicks into place, the wall splits like a door and reveals a hidden chamber. And within this chamber, an old statue depicting a female elven warrior posed in a battle stance mounted upon what looks like used to be maybe a Pegasus, though its head was missing at the time. Possibly due to neglect or time, portions of that statue had broken off, but adorned on the elven warrior, the group finds a finely crafted metal shirt of armor and a kite shield with a symbol. Pythavin, noticing the connections, takes the javelin she looted from the orc earlier and places it upon the statue, assuming this was probably its original resting place. The group debates on whether they should take the items or not. Pythavin reconvenes with Xanth, who was still finishing up his ration, and inquires to whether she should use it. Xanth, inspecting the room, responding that these caves were used initially by the Winged Mother's clergy ceremoniously, but at one time they would have possibly been wielded by her warriors that have now been lost to time. And he assures her that she could use them, even at the very least, to keep them out of the hands of the orcs above. Comments on how actually she does resemble the elven-like figure on the statue, possibly linking it to some kind of divine fate. She takes the armor off the statue, gives it to Tor to put in the bag of holding for later use, and then replaces her old shield with the new one. After some playful experimentation with the assistance of Tavith accordingly, and she does discover there's some magical element to the shield, granting far more protection. Some may say a +1 than a normal shield would. Angelo, inspecting the rest of this cave, finds that the back room slopes upward to a rope ladder and connects a wooden trap door above to the surface, placing them just outside the circle on top of the hill. Mahi attempts to scale it first without incident, but as he exits above, Drippy tags along and they both stealthily dart towards the woods. Pythavin attempts to follow, but the ladder decayed with time, and under the fat pressure of Mahi's body breaks. Previously, he must have probably... Yeah, you're heavy, dude. And so she tumbles back into the ground, cutting off this particular exit that leaves now a stranded Mahi and Drippy above. The rest of the group now strategize about heading back towards the opposite direction of the cave entrance, maybe possibly scaling the hill the long way in the hopes of either meeting up to Mahi or some other form of plan, which we now return to at this moment in time. And so, party, what shall we do?
What the hell we doing?
Well,
Hey,
I'm trying to get rid of this exhaustion. Like 3 months
Wow.
of
take a
exhaustion.
long- Hey, I'll just take a long rest down there. I'll just stay out here.
Yeah,
just
you
look out.
just chill up there,
Fine.
Mahi. Mind your business.
I think
Of course.
that we're not getting up that way.
Tor can still see this, so she can't really communicate with Mahi unless Drippy does some miming. Which, if I do not recall, or I do recall, Mahi is currently hiding in some bushes right now, according to the map.
Yes, he
Mhm.
is hiding in some bushes.
That Drippy kind of, like, nudged his head that way. They're trying to speak lizard.
Me and Drippy,
Yeah.
we get what's going on. We understand each other.
They
Yeah.
got a little connection.
So
going.
I don't think Tor is using his sight right now, so he's just kind of alone with Drippy at the moment. Well, Tor's down there. I don't think she was using his
it's
sight. I
come
think
full
she just sent him
circle.
up in case.
It has come full circle. Drippy was the first party member that I have met, and
That's true.
it is almost
He's gonna be the
cinematic
last
that I
character
should
you're with when you die.
exactly. It's full circle. It's so cinematic and beautiful.
Okay.
We're gonna have a spin-off series, Mahi and Drippy.
Mhm.
Well, Tor's just kind of look up at the broken rope ladder thing. I think Angelo was onto something when he said we should just go up the hill like normal people.
If that's what we wanted to do, we could have just done that.
Well, I mean, we found a secret entrance. It felt like we needed to use it.
Is there some
But
way
if we-
you can tell Mahi to come back here?
How? Wait, you do want him to drop down into the pit? Because that always works well for him.
Yeah.
Shut
Yes.
up.
I do, actually.
I'll save him
No,
again.
there's not. I can tell
Right.
Drippy what to do, but how is Drippy supposed to tell him? Why don't we just go out to the side and
We should
walk
just
up under
go
those
up
bushes and
there.
trees? Like go out here and
I
up
want to
this
go
way.
through the hole.
You can't. There's no
No.
ladder.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
vent is already.
Can I throw a pipe up
Heading
the
up
hole?
No, you cannot.
You know what? Tor's just gonna start walking this way.
Could make a
We're
human
wasting a lot
ladder.
of time talking
Tor
about
is
this.
Yeah,
following.
you stand on my shoulder. Stand on my
Yeah,
shoulder.
And then what is your plan to
Oh.
get everyone else out?
I'm sorry. We're gone.
We're
well,
gone. Goodbye.
Angelo and Tor
We've
have
left.
We've left.
Here, let me
Yeah,
help you up.
No, let's just follow them and not split the group anymore than we
I'm
need
blocking
to.
her. Come on.
Fix it.
Someone,
Mahi needs you.
We're already gone.
you have abandoned me to my fate.
Mahi needs you. Okay, fine.
I was actually almost gonna agree.
Oh, hey!
Too late.
Come
Too late.
back.
You already started walking.
No, we're
I heard a faint. Hold on in the background.
No, you did not.
That sucks. All right, can I ride the
Copy
horseback?
with open arms, Python kind of just pushes past him. You sort of hear her giggle, which
No,
is a
you
very
do not.
strange, very
No.
strange sound coming out of her orifice.
Right,
But
there. I giggled once and it scared me. I don't know.
it's like a very unsure
I'm
giggle.
riding the horse over there.
That's
the
nowhere
horse
near
isn't
where the horse
actually
is. You
there.
come out here.
I know. I'm just making. Okay,
This
fine.
is where you came out. You can't go back to the horse.
You're right.
The ho-
Okay, you're right.
Trust
So,
me, Mahi
as you
told
guys
the horse very specifically
exit-
not to promote you.
As you guys exit the cave, you do see Xanthus standing next to the entrance, and he's got his hand across the etchings above the door frame that have been scratched out by the orcs and replaced with the scribblings.
Tavi thinks Xanth is the horse and jumps on his back. Just kidding.
I was about to say, do you do this because
Sean will take me seriously and get me murdered.
yes.
So we're gonna start sneaking up the hill under these shrubberies.
You're really just gonna
under the
leave us
trees.
behind like this.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually. How does it feel, Pythavin? It's crazy when you're on the other end of this.
Don't worry, Pyth. You'll get used to it. It's fine.
Yeah, we need to protect Pyth, and we need to be careful, leaves Pyth.
Hey, you cannot have it both ways. Okay?
Angelo forced me to do this by saying it would protect the group. He tricked mine.
He said, Trixie
Angelo's secretly plotting to get Mahi murdered.
I can't
From
blame
day
him
one.
because
That's been
Angelo
my
Black
mission.
Spider
Every-
confirmed?
Maybe not the black spider, but definitely a black spiderling.
Good God, do you remember earlier, Eli, when I asked like why it takes us so long to get anything done? I figured
Yeah.
it out.
Why? This is why.
It's because we're going to
I
try to
blame
sneak up the
Josh.
hill now through the shrubbery.
We are.
They're sneaking.
Oh,
Sneaky, sneak, 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 sneak.
Angelo and Tor make their way and start climbing up the hill. Xanth turns to you, Pythavin, as you exit, notices Tavith, and he kind of nods in the direction. It looks like Tavith he's going to say something, and he remembers that you don't understand what he's saying. So he turns over
Sign language.
and speaks to Pythavin and Sylvan. And he goes, "This is a shame. They have desecrated. The shrine was here for hundreds of years. The pigmen, they do not know what they have done here this day.
And what is that exactly?
Sacrilege. Sacrilege of these lands. Of my people." He kind of leans over, and at this point, you're kind of you're still standing in front of the entrance, and he kind of peers up. You all notice at this point that there is just a brief little twinkling of orange in the sky. The sun is just barely past the horizon. For the most part, the stars and moon are visible at this point, or would be if it wasn't surrounded by dark gray storm clouds above. The light in this area has dimmed at this point, but you probably figure you don't have too much longer until there's no light. Short of course, the torches that are now lining up around all of the standing stones at the very top of the hill. So for those of you with dark vision at this point, you will all have disadvantage on perceptions.
Yay.
Ah, good thing you left Pyth.
Xanth looks up above towards the hill and then looks back at Pyth. "I cannot see from here. I do notice the lights above. I suspect their ritual is possibly due in some time. If only I knew what their intentions were. I know some ill will to Lunaria. I could not understand the pigmen. They never spoke in a language that I could understand when they had captured us. But I must do what I must to save Lunaria."
What?
What's he saying? He sounds like gibberish.
He is worried about the ritual and what it may bring.
Oh, you understand that? Okay.
Yes.
He's kind of
He's
not
such
paying
a
attention to you,
nerd.
Tavi. So he kind of he's looking at the dagger that you guys gave him earlier and kind of starts panning around, and then he goes ahead and pushes past you. And roll stealth. Okay. And he starts heading into the woods. And you can kind of see he stops and at one of the not necessarily a large branch, probably maybe about the width of your arm, and he takes one of his hooves. He holds one end of the branch with his hand, and he front kicks with his front hooves the other end of the branch and breaks it off the tree. And you can kind of see him take the knife and start kind of whittling like a little insert into the top part of the wood.
Smart.
He then throws the dagger on the ground and stomps it with his hoof and cracks the handle and pulls the blade out and then attaches it into the little insert on top of the stick. And now you see he's holding it kind of with two hands. He thrusts it a little bit left and right and kind of nods, holds the stick up. It looks like he has a pretty usable spear at this point.
I am gonna head over.
I'm following Pyth, whatever she's doing.
All right, so for the others that have already passed, I go ahead and roll. Everybody roll stealth, except for Mahi, because he already did.
And I'm gonna offer to him. I may be able to help you make that more secure.
He holds it out to you.
And I'm gonna try to cast mending on it to kind of like make the wood fix itself around the blade so it stays better.
Okay. All right, I'll say for that purpose, yeah, you can kind of see that it wiggles a little bit as he kind of holds it in place. You go ahead and put both your hands on top of the tip part of the wood, and as you clasp them together, you can kind of see kind of a glowish light kind of shine out through the cracks of your fingers. Concentrate. And then you open up your eyes, and as you look, and it looks like the wood is kind of melded around the blade. So, yeah, it looks a little bit more stable, and so he picks it up and looks at it, and it kind of he flips it around, and then kind of stabs the ground a little bit, and flips it back up. He kind of nods, gives you a look of approval. This will do, though I question the numbers above. They had many patrols prior to our capture.
I thought you were making a joke about like the stats of the spear. I question the numbers.
They have very many hit points above. You have to get them into the low red area before they start doing weird boss attacks. Telegraphed
Anyway.
red arcs on the ground that you have to move your character around to not step into the AoE.
Stealth rolls.
Stealth rolls, everybody.
I had a 15.
I rolled a 9.
Wonderful.
20.
I rolled 2 9s.
It's kind of low for you, my dude.
Yeah. 9 also.
Yeah. Oh. Let's-
Centaur, save us. Centaur, save us.
Can I do my little thunder thing? Give myself not disadvantage.
Thunder die.
Okay, as you kind of creepily step over there, and you notice that you guys are kind of standing outside, you kind of hear some noise coming from the left.
Ooh.
You quickly go ahead and cast your thaumaturgy in the opposite direction.
Yes. Am I muted? No.
So you can kind of hear the, man, Blurg sucks. It's just too slow. But you can kind of hear the sound effect kind of reverberate down through the kind kind of the valley area here right before the entrance to the hill. And both Xanth and yourself and Tavith, I'd suggest getting into the foliage there. Or you can stay where you are and stick out. There you go, okay. It's up to you. But as y'all kind of creep down a little bit behind the bushes, you wait. Python, now you can see Tavith. You really can't see anything at this point. And neither can Xanth, unfortunately. Python, you don't show any movements coming from the east or the west at this point.
Great. What are Angelo and Tor doing?
Look at us. We're making it up to Mahi.
You're kind of moving through the foliage as you're starting to climb. At this point now, it slopes upward, and so your speed is halved as you're going through kind of dense terrain at this point. Mahi, what are you doing?
Just keeping a lookout and probably like occasionally looking at like the pit, like
Why is nobody else coming?
I probably get a
Tor-
little startled when they like
Yeah.
appear behind. He's like, oh,
I flick him in the back of the head when I come up.
You should really keep a better guard, Mahi.
Father, heaven.
So
What if
if
we
you
had
stayed
the horse?
stationary, basically between you and Drippy, all that you saw was some just rotating of the guards around the perimeter of the fog. You weren't making out, not enough where you can necessarily see numbers, and for the most part, you can't really necessarily tell what they exactly are. You do see kind of more of a shadowy shape. It's kind of dancing off of the flickering torch lights that are listed below, or lighted, not below, but lighted across from you. And there's still kind of this dark, almost kind of a semi-miniature storm cloud fog that's surrounding the top portion of this hill and the innermost part of the circle. In fact, it kind of, as a thunder roars in the background, you see kind of little arcing flashes within the fog cloud across from you.
Paladin,
Oh,
have you figured out the pattern of their movements? The watch?
I haven't. They haven't moved since the last time Tor told us. Tor,
Alright.
do you think you could send Drippy out to see if there's any bystanders in the middle of it? If not, you could cast.
and just kind of does his hands and makes the like the hand movements of explosion.
I don't know magic, but
Pretty sure there's gonna be a unicorn in the middle of all that.
It's that a beautiful unicorn.
That might be a problem for us.
yeah.
If you don't want to send Drippy, I could go scout. Could just plan my movements around when the watch moves. Like in English. This is my first language.
It's okay, we know you're French.
Where is that?
Well, yeah, what the hell is a French?
It's somewhere the south.
South of
It's
there.
And-
More the south.
It's like the northern part of the south.
Alright.
thought it was like a
I'm
dip.
not from there,
That
Thought it
makes
was like
sense.
a dip.
but my
Oh,
offer
like-
still stands.
I can send
I can
Drippy,
scout
but
it
the
up.
thing is, even if we get in there, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a unicorn. And I'm not just gonna be able to fireball it, but I'll send Drippy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sending Drippy. He's gonna wiggle his way like this way.
Okay.
In the
Roll
mean-
Imagine,
a
like, he-
stealth check.
I imagine he goes down Mahi and he's like, whoa.
in the meantime,
Mahi does that.
I'm gonna start leading this group up to join them.
Xanth follows.
Sam? Is his name Sam?
Xanth.
Xanth.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought his name's Sam.
You can call him Z,
Okay,
even though it's spelled with an
that's a
X.
15.
15 for Drippy?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll say that he slithers up behind one of the stone pillars.
And then he's gonna like kind of try to peek around, see what he can see.
Okay. See, pretty much now in the brighter light area here, you watch as some of the orcs are making their motions around. So far, none of them seem to have paid any attention.
Okay, he's gonna move to like this point here to see if he can see anything within the fog.
The fog kind of extends from the ground upward here, and it's probably a good about 7 or 8 feet tall.
Okay, hold on one
Make
second.
out anything behind.
Is there anything within 10 feet of him? Because he does have blind sight for 10 feet. So, like, within this point here would be about where he can see through.
Yeah, so if he does have blind sight in that case,
Only for 10
then
feet, but
he does not make out any shapes or figures directly in front of him.
okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. Drippy's gonna go ahead and try to make his way into the fog, but I'm basically gonna ready for if it looks like anything notices Drippy to call him back.
Okay.
So he's gonna start. I can't get him on top of the fog, and I don't want to lose him into the fog, but so he's basically gonna just start going like this,
All right.
and he's got the 10 feet of blind sight.
Tavith is a heavy breather. All right.
What? I
So
didn't do anything.
I'm like watching the chat to see who's.
Oh, that was my nostril.
I
I tested it.
He tested it. Okay. All right. So Drippy's in for sure.
Yep, and again, the plan is if it looks like anything notices him, I'm gonna call him back. I just want to see what's in there. I can't get him through the black because
Holding action to recall.
All
yeah,
right.
basically.
So basically, as he goes in here, he starts to skirt underneath, and as you're getting into the fog, you can kind of see it. It looks like what you would imagine what a plane would feel like when they're going into a storm. As he parts the clouds, and you can see some figures that are directly towards the center. As he tries to kind of squint to make out, you notice some arcing lightning that kind of flashes right across his face. For the rest of you that are watching this, Mahi and Angelo, not Tor, because you're not seeing through him, or you're seeing through him, I should say. You're not seeing through your eyes.
Right.
But you are watching as you saw Drippy disappear, not more than maybe just about 30 seconds into it, and you watch as a huge bolt of lightning comes down from the sky and connects into the area where Drippy was at. I need Drippy to roll a Dex saving throw.
Dear God.
That's rough, buddy.
Can I add his just dex modifier to it?
Yeah, it'll be his, yes.
Okay, 21.
Nice.
Ooh.
As Drippy kind of slithers, he stops, and immediately there's an incredible flash of light that strikes the ground in front of him, and he coils himself backwards. You have this opportunity to draw him back.
I'll draw him back.
Okay. Immediately his vision fades. Your vision fades likewise, and he poops in front of you.
Did I see anything while he was? Did he see anything while he was in there?
You can kind of see he looks at you, and he kind of sticks out his tongue, and you kind of see He has a little twitch, but he seems to be okay.
Did he see anything before the
was-
lightning happened?
He was going to, but he can make out there's definitely more shapes within the center of it, but he couldn't make out any numbers.
Okay.
So there's stuff in there.
There's
There is stuff in there. I'm just gonna step up. So what are we doing?
well. I don't know. No. Because there's a bunch of lightning inside the fog cloud. Along with other things, but I don't know what, because there's lightning inside the fog cloud.
You don't think I could? No, never mind.
I think it would be incredibly stupid to go in there alone.
I was not going to go in there alone.
Well,
Even I'm
good.
not that stupid.
What were you gonna do?
Something stupid.
Was it
Well-
going in there alone?
It wasn't going in there alone. It was going alone around the edges, but not inside.
Well, you can't see anything. Even Drippy, getting all the way up to it, he couldn't see anything.
No, I was going to
Only
pick up the
because he's a
watchman.
snake, he can only see. Oh. Think you can one hit them? All
I
of them?
believe
The
so.
first time?
There's something in me that really just wants to see Angelo go full hitman and just like
It would
subdue,
be so
subdue,
great.
subdue, subdue, slide back,
I believe
subdue,
I
subdue,
could.
subdue, subdue.
Full of
So he
Hey,
kind of
sand,
watches
hide 'em in
as
the bushes.
Xanth kind of approaches the edge, and he kind of looks towards the north, and then he kind of rushes back over to you, Python. Little friend, is it possible you can do your sound magic? My attempts are there are other caves north of here. I suspect that if we were held in the southern cave, perhaps there might be more on the northern side. I intend to go and see if I can find any left over from my tribe.
Do you think we could gather other allies?
If they yet live.
Give me one moment, and I'm gonna look at the others. Zant thinks we may be able to gather other allies in the caves around here.
I would not
Well,
be
how it-
opposed to that.
We'll need to
Me
hurry,
neither.
but the more the merrier.
Yeah, more the merrier until we get caught trying to get to these other caves, given that it was a whole. Oops, sorry, I accidentally moved Xanth.
Zant just
He just takes off. Yelp. We're free.
My bad.
We're free.
Sorry, I was trying to move the screen so I could see what's going on. Given it took us like forever to get to this one spot.
Sea biscuit.
We'll try to pick up the pace in this next room. We know now what to expect coming out of the tunnels, and not to rely on the ladders.
All right.
We could
I'm just saying we
go
have
the
worse
longer
for wear.
way.
And if we have support, at the very least, it draws attention away from us.
I said all right, and so if we don't want to waste time, maybe we should just go.
Perhaps we should start the lower bit of the hill. Less line of sight. We could
That's
just
probably a good idea.
Alright.
Contrary to popular opinion, I actually have quite a few.
Mahi, she was being sarcastic. That's a common sense answer.
I wasn't being sarcastic.
Well, you can say that out loud, but that's what Tor said.
Pike's not bothering with it. That's rough, buddy. So I'm
Mahi's just come to expect that from Tor.
gonna look back to Xanth and relay this, and basically just say like, we're going to move further down the hill so it's harder to see us, and then we'll head north.
He nods. Very well.
Bonk, bonk, bonk,
I
bonk.
follow your lead.
You can't actually get in the
There's a
trees
map
here,
there's a map excerpt in the way of where I need to go.
Do not be afraid of the overlay map. We will go underneath it.
but we
Oh, okay. Full cover.
Full cover!
I don't know where I'm going. We're going
north.
this way. The plan
Oh.
is to get to this thing.
Probably.
So, how far down are we guys going? All the way to the end and up?
I'll probably go
like
around
halfway,
yeah, I'd go to about like right here.
like this,
Here. Yeah, this. Yeah,
like swirling around this way,
yeah, swirling around that way.
to where it seems reasonable that they wouldn't really be able to see us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
It's
remember that in this part's dark, whereas you can actually see them better than they could possibly see you,
Right.
at least at that distance.
And I'm gonna, like, while we're moving,
Which is why you guys are winning stealth checks right now.
right, while we're
Oh,
moving,
wow. Just
I'm
for
gonna,
9.
like, because I can kind of see better, try to time it with when they're passing, and try to time it with some thaumaturgy to cover our
Okay.
sounds.
All right.
I'm following place, but I don't want to go through the map.
So, individual, groups of 2, everyone make a run for it. How do you want to handle
All
skirting?
together, I think.
All together stealthy.
All right.
Tell my wife. All running together.
No, tell my wife.
Why?
So, everyone roll. And we
For
will
death.
take the
Advantage.
average.
Oh, good.
Advantage.
Stealth again? Stealth, you say?
Straight rolls. Remember,
Oh.
you all are at disadvantage
um,
right now.
So I was double disadvantaged, so does it mean I'm still disadvantaged?
Wait,
No.
am I a
No.
straight roll or a disadvantage?
You
Straight.
guys will be straight rolls.
Okay, all straight rolls. Okay,
There's
here
no
we go.
double negatives. There's
I
no
rolled
no.
2 dice at the same time.
Then roll a new dice.
Roll
Okay.
the new dice.
That's 10.
Oh, great. That I should just taken the disadvantage.
Or
Don't need.
I rolled an
8.
11.
Oof. 8, 10, and 11.
I had a 12.
That's
I got a 21.
You guys need that.
Angelo.
Angelo?
22.
Angelo, please.
22.
Where am I? Oh, there I am. Ah!
So, Python Angelo saving your butts there.
Maybe.
All right, so I'll say that you guys, of course, going a long way, so this is going to eat up some time. By the time that you guys reach the bottom of the hill and then make your way north and curve, at this point, the sun is completely down below. So it is definitely nighttime. There's no twinge of orange. The cloud is pretty much at its, I guess it's already at its pinnacle at this point, but for the most part, the entire area, not just the circle, is covered with the cloud, but it's emanating, proceeding outward, like a radius into the foliage and into the clouds as well. So you're starting to see kind of the mists that are starting to gather around your feet as well. But you do make it to the other side without incident.
Cave, cave, cave.
Sweet, keep going.
I'm gonna cast Dancing Lights, just 1 orb.
That's going to.
And just
Are you sure? Because you're in complete darkness, but you're in the open.
Yeah, it's kind of a beacon.
That
okay.
will certainly
When we get to the
nullify
cave.
your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, when we
Just-
get to the cave.
Just
Flat
let Pipe
out.
guide you a little bit here. Just
Yeah,
rely on the one that can see.
but you could certainly try.
I'll pass.
Sneak.
So I guess we're also kind of following Xanth's lead here. Pyth and Xanth. Pyth's like doing the sight thing, but like Xanth seems to know where we're going.
We go to the cave.
He kind of notices, and he's like, without making a sound, he kind of points at you 5, and then directs his hand that way. And he's like making like football coach motions. You don't understand all of the gestures, but you get the gist of it. One more stealth roll for everybody rushing over to the cave.
Okay.
Yay!
Oh, that's
Straight again? Yes, straight.
Yay.
26.
Yeah.
Higher
Yay.
this time. A
Python is
13
going
this
to
time.
correlate that with her thaumaturgy.
As she does.
Also a 10 again.
12.
It was almost a 17, but it didn't want to stop on the.
It's a 15 from me that time.
Angelo?
24.
Yeah, claps for rogues.
Stinking rogues.
You handle the sneaking part, I'll handle the stealing part. Together we make one stereotypical rogue.
All right, marching orders into the cave.
Pyth probably stays behind to like tell people when to go, basically.
Through the dark where they can't see?
What difference does it make if she goes first? You still can't see.
Marching orders, so we're all going at once. You're leading.
Yes, we're high Hitlering with you.
No.
Okay, we're just hiling.
So Pyth stays behind like while she's sending them to the cave, basically like timing the stealth, but then once she gets there she'll take the lead.
Okay. Internally, there is light coming out from the cave as you guys approach.
Move down here, guy.
Yeah, sure, this order.
Yeah, the one that I just threw everyone on the map in, I guess. That's a reasonable order.
This
Yes.
one kind of Xanth notices the depiction, and very similarly, this shrine emblem is also have been scratched out. Not necessarily as with any artistic license as the previous ones have been. This one is mostly just a simple kind of big X. He kind of shakes his head, looks at it, and goes, "Not only sacrilege, but laziness."
You're gonna vandalize it. Do it right.
Well, I don't know that you can expect artistic skill from pig people.
Not from the pigmen, no. The only thing they know is how to brush their tusks.
I'm gonna kind of like peek into the cave and see if I see or hear anything, any movement.
At the moment, there is light in the cave. There looks to be some torches that are lined up accordingly, so you have some bright light internally. Situated in the middle of the intersection, directly in front of you at the other end of the tunnel, there's a skull of a boar. It's resting on top of a pile of humanoid and what looks to be animal bones.
Humanoid animal bones?
And animal bones.
Okay, I was like,
Which could be also humanoid animals. You're not exactly sure which
who knows?
how they were organized when they weren't bones. Or when they weren't exposed bones, I should say. They've always been bones. But you could play as Dinosaur Hunt if you want to start putting together a T-Rex or something.
I'm gonna motion Angelo forward because he's sneaky and there's light, so just can you look down the
I-
other hallway? See what you see.
He nods his head and he goes to here and he peeks his head around.
Oops, that's not cutting.
Death instantly.
All right, so Angelo, so directly across from you, if you look to your left as you enter in, kind of similarly, the caves are situated very similarly to the outline of the previous one that you saw. There looks to be some kind of, again, a holding cell in the lower part here, this area here. Not necessarily secured, but again, mostly kind of makeshift, like stable, and you kind of get the smell of trough, pig trough, that hits your nostrils immediately. And as you kind of look further, you kind of hear there's a kind of movement going behind the wooden planks that are kind of guarding up the front.
We're gonna wait on that.
Leo P.
I'm sorry, piggies. I'm sorry, buddies.
Down the other hall just basically looks like a hallway, which to the right has another alcove.
Is there anything in that?
Well, you can't see from your angle.
Right, then I'm gonna go a bit farther, and I'm gonna motion for them to follow.
I motion everyone else to follow if they didn't see that.
Okay.
Before I go, actually, I'm gonna look at Xanth, and can you keep watch just outside here and tell us if you see anything?
He kind of grips hold of his spear and he nods. I will keep an eye out for what I can see out here.
Mostly if you hear anything.
If you see anything in regards to any more of my people,
I will let you know.
thank you. I appreciate it, little one. It is again Xanth is very fortunate that you all have stumbled across his path. I hope this night will not end with any more loss.
Right.
Foreboding.
Yeah, Angelo!
Yeah, what do I see?
You peek around the corner, and just passive perception at this point. This looks to be kind of another cell area. This one's smaller accordingly than the pen that you see kind of further down the other hallway. This one looked like it contained something, but currently it is empty.
All right, passing it.
We're trying to keep this moving.
Keeping it going, keeping it going.
Just cleric status check. How's everyone looking right now?
Fine.
Just good, bad, fine.
I am at the middle of my health, basically.
Between a 1 and 44, I'm feeling about a 17.
I'm 33. I don't.
Oh,
Oh.
Angelo, so you see as you turn the corner, you instantly kind of stop and kind of put your back up against the northern wall there, and you kind of watch the wall as there's a little humanoid silhouette that kind of passes through as a flicker and then recedes back into that room. I need you to roll a stealth check for me.
23.
Gotta give it to the Rhodes scouting there.
there's a reason I sent him
Indeed.
first.
As you quickly turned the corner and turned right back and planted yourself against the wall, you can kind of almost see from the outline of the shadow as it portrays across from you, almost like sort of like a mirror, but obviously not.
Plato's
You
cave.
yeah, you see the kind of it just recedes back, and
Can
you
I
give it a few
hear
moments.
approximately how many there are?
And you can kind of hear kind of a briefly muffled, "Where was that? I don't know."
Must have been the wind.
I hate you.
What's that smell?
I'm gonna motion for everyone to stop, and I'm gonna put my finger to my mouth.
Then you hear, "Sorry."
Oh my word.
The other one goes, "Oh."
We love a good old fart joke.
And
It
as
breaks the
the
tension.
you can kind of as you kind of really real silent here, and you're kind of ushering to everyone else. Kind of you put your fingers to your lips and you're listening in. Their conversing gets a little bit louder, and it sounds like strangely familiar.
Are
like
they?
you've
they-
heard these orcs before, even though a lot of orcs kind of sound the same, but they are talking common right now, so you can understand them, Angelo. But
No.
they kind of sound like maybe the orcs that you met in the front of the mansion. They have the similar kind of back and forth banter.
Pi still has the eye
I'm-
patch on.
Bye, Vivian.
Well,
Just me and you.
I can't hear you. What?
Just me and you. Let's go scare some orcs, shall we?
She shrugs, motions the others to stay.
And I walk around the corner. All right, up against the wall, and I like show my, I show my amulet.
Mahi.
He's showing like a badge.
FBI, open up.
He's doing this like a freaking detective.
I am a member of the Lord's Alliance.
Pi
You are all under arrest.
just kind of
Mahi's
steps
head
in
is
behind
like-
him and like folds her hands in front of her, like, yeah, what he said.
Up against the wall. Take off your clothes and give me your weapons.
Your pig pen is not up to code. Oh
Take off
my
your
goodness.
clothes and give me your weapons.
Alrighty,
I
so
pull my rapier out.
They call me the impulsive ones.
I'm moving up here.
back over here.
Tor's like, I can't not watch this.
Actually, I'm gonna send Drippy down and like let it slither up pipe.
You both enter the room. Angelo kind of bursts into the room. He whips out his rapier and basically telling them all to sit on the ground. Both orcs are currently looking at each other. They both look at you, and then they recognize you, especially as Python enters, and you watch immediately. They go into kind of a bug-eyed, anime sweat bubbles on their head, and they're both like,
The face that Pies put in the memes chat.
"Oh crap!"
Take
Eddie
off your
goes,
clothes and give me
"Oh!"
your weapons. Up
He
against
looks-
the wall.
He looks down and goes, "Oh, sorry.
Did he stutter?
Okay, okay." The other one, they kind of both look at each other and they sit there for a moment, and I need you both to roll intimidation with advantage.
Oh god.
We love some crackhead hours.
Oh god. Oh, thank god I have advantage. That's a 16 total.
Okay.
The first one was a 1 with a -1.
I think that's also a 16 for me. Yeah, I don't have any charisma.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's good enough. Okay. They both look at each other, they throw their swords on the ground, and they both raise up their hands. And then they kind of look at you, they look back at each other again. Go, "Oh no! I guess they survived."
Up against the wall.
Okay, okay. And you kind of notice as you get into a further look in this room, this one, looks almost like sort of like a barracks, a makeshift kind of barracks. You see kind of a couple of cots off to the side, but there's a big table that's stretched across the further end of the room. They're kind of backing up towards. Several looks like there's some weapons accordingly, mostly kind of swords and axes. You do see several bottles of various potion-y liquids on the table as well, and has a couple of bags of coin. And so they back up into it.
Step away from the table.
You make up your mind!
There are 4 walls in this room. Pick one that doesn't have weapons on it.
So they kind of dance around for a little bit. The other one kind of blocks the other exit here. This one here, so he backs himself into the corner. This one here is backed up into the open. In this case here, that the hallway is open here. There's a door that's behind him that's currently open, and so he's looking jittery.
Can I use thaumaturgy to slam that door shut?
Boom! It closes right on his butt. He steps forward a little bit, and then looks back at you, and then looks back at his friend, and his friend's like just shaking his head. Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
All right. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you did not hear me. I am going to give you 5 seconds to take off all of your armor and all of your clothes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it off.
They start addressing themselves.
This
is ridiculous. Why do we always get stuck with this stupid job?
How many people are up on the hill?
They kind of both look, and they kind of start looking at the ground.
Angelo? Actually, I don't say Angelo. I say some fake name. I don't know. What did he say a fake name earlier?
Yeah. Does Pyth remember?
It might be my notes.
Pyth? Well, I don't know.
Pyth would remember because
Pyth
it was
would
just
remember.
earlier the day,
so.
not 3 weeks ago.
Callie wouldn't remember, but Pyth.
I'm stupid. I don't know what you.
Did Angelo give a fake name?
I think he did.
Does Preston remember?
I do,
We'll
actually.
We'll retcon the fact that he gave some kind of a fake name.
Because he did. You don't need to retcon.
He did. What was it?
He might have even said it
It was-
briefly as he entered the room. You know.
I did. I was like, Archie.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. You told me to call you that. Okay, yeah. I remember this
Yep,
now.
that's what I did.
So I just look at him and go, Archie.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna put my rapier up against the belly button of the first orc that's closest to me.
So at this point now, he's basically kind of just wearing Tavi's clothing here. His belly kind of protrudes out above his little loincloth there. A little chubby.
Oh, that bothers me so much.
I
Don't-
suggest you answer.
Most of the clan went up to the hill. They're waiting for the calling.
Give me a number.
Shh! Don't tell them about the calling. Well, you probably already know. Oh yeah, that's right. They're supposed to be chosen of Talos.
Do I know what the calling is?
You assume that they're probably referring to calling down the thunder ritual.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're calling it, but that's what you would assume.
Numbers.
They kind of look at their hands.
5, 4.
And kind of look back at each other.
3.
Back.
Have you ever counted everybody before? I don't know. Every once in a while, there's a group of venture comes through and keeps changing our numbers around.
You're welcome.
You're definitely going to find most of our leaders are still above conducting the ritual.
More or less than this many, and I hold up 5 fingers.
It depends on whether the Yargos patrol
I'm
came
going
in or
to
not.
kill you if you don't give me a direct answer.
We don't know, okay? They keep shifting the guards. There's only probably 4 guards up there currently.
And he kind of looks back at the other friend, and they kind of look back at each other.
It's like, who's supposed to be up there now? I don't know. I have to check the notes.
Orc leans down to his pants that he just undressed, like digging through his pockets. There's supposed to be.
I have names.
Look
But
down
I
at
forget-
smudge writing.
Where's my? Okay, there. Okay, I found him. Well, Vince is definitely up there, or Narx is up there. Yargrath was supposed to come with the patrol earlier, but I don't think they did. And who's left? Oh, the other guy goes, "Oh, Granick? Oh no, wait, he's probably dead." Of course, if they're here, that means he's dead. Maybe we shouldn't have left. If we didn't leave, then we'd be dead. Well, we're
Are you
probably not in a
afraid?
very good position right now.
All right, get down on the ground. On the ground.
Oh, this is so degrading.
And they get down on the ground.
Look back to Pipe.
Python. Python and Angela are like, I didn't really expect to get this far.
Going to check that room.
Yes, and I'm going to, while I go to pass him, just pull out some rope and hand it to him.
I won't need that.
All right, and I'm going to the room.
Secrets.
I apologize, orcs. This is going to be very painful, but I cannot have you following us. And I'm going to take my dagger out and I'm going to slice all their Achilles tendon.
Oh,
Jeez.
oh, I'm
All right.
uncomfy.
Yeah.
Ow!
Okay.
Ow!
Go ahead and roll. I mean, they're not bound yet. You're gonna do this before you bind them, or after?
Huh? After.
Okay.
I
Alright.
should have clarified that.
Dang.
Okay. All right.
Angelo
So just
is
want to
really
clarify.
acting like
Yeah, I'm
Mahi,
gonna bind
resorting
them,
to
yeah.
intimidation, physical threats, insult,
Here's
and
the thing.
also violence.
Mahi
playing bad
resorts to
cop.
torture. Angelo just resorts to simple violence. That's what he
torture.
told you to do with the last guy, and you melted his legs off.
Not my problem. That was
How
his
much-
problem.
People
He
melt
made his
people's
choices.
legs off. Don't get to judge other people.
So how much rope are
He
you
made his
using in this endeavor?
choices.
How much rope was I given?
I just gave you the whole thing, so you have 50
I'm
feet
using
of-
all of it.
Don't
I'm using
use
all
all
of
of it.
No, I'm
50
not
feet of
using
rope?
all of it.
Use like 5 feet a
25
person.
per orc.
I'm just using enough to get a solid tie around each person.
At
I'm
the-
not using all 50.
Yes. So basically, you mummify them with rope.
No.
No, I'm just using enough to tie each of them up so they
Alright.
can't move
Like 5 feet an orc.
Yeah. So basically, go ahead and remove about 10 foot of your 50-foot rope. So you got 40 left. You cut off the pieces and you split them in half, and then you go ahead and take the time. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. Let me know what, how well of a knot that you tie these
20.
orcs in. 23 is very good. Okay. All right. So you kind of bind their arms, their hands, their legs together accordingly. Do you gag them? Especially if you're going to be cutting their tendons.
Well, yes. I was planning to do that.
All right.
Oh,
Very well.
Well,
So you do that. Once they are bound in the corner here, I'll say at this point you kind of put them side by side,
again, I apologize. I really do.
and then a flash of steel. You can kind of hear them go, but now of course are gagged, so they're.
that's
I
rough, buddy.
apologize. My apologies. Thousands of apologies. Robert. May tomorrow have mercy on your soul. I am sorry.
They struggle a little bit, but eventually it kind of subsides, and you kind of watch a small little kind of puddle of blood starts kind of seeping out from behind your feet.
You both will heal. It will take a while, but you will be fine. I pat the cheeks.
Can we come over yet?
You hear this kind of echo down the hallway.
Tor's just watching
Yeah.
all this through Drippy.
I've been watching through Drippy, but I'm like calling down the hall now.
Now he's assuming the worst. He's like, what the heck are they doing over there?
It's fine.
All right, the rest of you can come in.
Can you check
Okay,
that
and I
table?
give up. Yes, I look at the table.
And
I saw potions on the table.
I'm going and opening this door and going to investigate an exterior.
Okay.
DM, what's on the table?
Okay. All right. So you get an outline. There are a lot of the weapons and the weapons that are kind of strewn up on the table here. Mostly they look used. You don't see any kind of insignias or anything of any kind of a branding on them. But generally, you see a couple of small axes, hand axes, a couple of short swords. But as far as the money, you do see handfuls of coin pouches. Once you go through them all, go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Now you have bag of holding, so you can just shove everything in there.
Yes. Okay, that's not horrible. What's my modifier again? God, I haven't looked at my modifier in so long. Oh God, 17.
Okay. All right, 17. All right. So you find about 25 gold worth.
Okay.
Are you going to be taking all of the items?
I'm for sure taking all of the gold.
Mhm.
Like I'll divide it up later, but right now isn't the time. I'm writing
Okay.
this down so I have it for future reference. 25 gold.
25 gold. As far as the potions are concerned, so you kind of look over and you find 3 vials of what looks to be reddish liquid, possibly healing potions.
Okay.
And you see 2 vials of blue liquid. You're not sure what these
Mana potions.
Obviously.
Obviously. How cool would it be if there were potions that like gave you back spell slots and they were basically mana potions?
Well, it's
I play
funny
video
that
games. I know where blue and red are.
it's funny that you mentioned that.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
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 Yeah, don't say.
Everybody
tease
with
me,
spell
Sean.
slots. Everybody
How many
with
hand
spell
axes
slots.
are there?
Oh.
Yeah, she's taking everything.
You see a battle axe, 1 battle axe, 2 hand axes, 2 short swords.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them all because I miss my multiple bows. That was one of my favorite gags, is pulling out a bunch of weapons from with this tiny bag.
Plus you can
So
sell
it
it
was
for loot.
1 battle axe, 2 hand axes, and 2 short
hand
swords.
axes and 2 short swords.
Okay.
Now he's gonna walk over.
Can I have one of those hand axes? I'm not one for ranged, so that could possibly give me some sort of an edge if I'm not up close.
I give him 1 hand axe.
Okay.
And I
Thank you.
change my notes to where I only have 1 hand axe now. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
And I just put it on my belt. Just kind of slide it in.
Alrighty. That's pretty
Can we
much
take a
all that you
bathroom break?
take.
Can we take a bathroom break?
Yes.
Break.
Oh, perfect
Break.
timing. 'Cause my pineapple fried rice is about to show up.
Nice.
Break.